Hello everyone and welcome to the channel.
In today's video, we're going to show you how to make some delicious slow-cooked lamb shanks in a red wine sauce.
We'll be doing that in the Ninja 15-in-1.
Now, without any further ado, let's get into it.
First up, here's a list of the ingredients you're going to need for this recipe. 3 to 4 lamb shanks, 500 milliliters of chicken, beef or vegetable stock, a bottle of red wine, we've gone for a nice Merlot, a can of peeled tomatoes, 6 cloves of garlic, 1 red onion, 2 carrots and 3 celery stalks. We've also got a few sprigs of rosemary and thyme, some bay leaves, paprika and of course salt and pepper, as well as a small amount of tomato puree or tomato paste. Okay, now step 1, you're going to want to remove the lamb shanks from your fridge and let them get to room temperature. We've got ours here, they've been sitting on the side for around about 30 minutes. And then what you want to do is you want to take some kitchen towel and you want to just pat them dry as best you can. Obviously be aware that the tissue may want to try and stick to the meat, so just be very cautious of that. And once you've done that, we're going to now season the lamb. We're going to go for a bit of salt and pepper as well as a little bit of paprika. A little bit of paprika too. Then flip them over, do the same again, a nice generous amount of salt and pepper. You don't have to add paprika, we're just adding that because we like paprika. Okay, then once you've added your seasoning, just give it a good little rub and a tap, like so. Now once we've seasoned the lamb, we're gonna move on to searing it. So you're gonna wanna open your Ninja 15-in-1. You're going to want to switch it on, move it over to the air fry mode, and the first function that will show is the sear saute. You're going to want to hit start, and we're going to leave that to get up to temperature for a couple of minutes before we start searing the lamb. Okay, so we've preheated the Ninja FOODi for about 3 minutes now. I think it's ready to begin searing the meat. We're going to add a little dash of avocado oil in there. You can use olive oil if you like. It's just avocado oil yields a bit less smoke than olive oil. Then you're going to want to grab some tongs and we're just going to sear the meat. We want to get the meat nice and brown on all sides. And it's quite big in the FOODi, so you can definitely sear all your shanks at the same time. And then just occasionally flip them over. Just keep flipping. Okay, I'd say we're about done now. The meat is nicely browned. Once we're done, we're just going to pop them to the side on our plate. Let them rest while we begin sauteing our veg. So I'm just going to add a tiny little bit more oil. Little drop. And we're going to begin by sauteing our onion and garlic. This is 6 cloves of garlic and 1 red onion. Give that a good mix. And then once they start browning up, you're going to add the celery and carrot. In that goes. Give that a good stir. And the purpose of sauteing the vegetables that you seared the lamb in is you're going to get all those flavours from the lamb that was cooking earlier. Once you're happy with your veg, we're going to add our red wine to deglaze the pan. Now I'm going to eyeball this, but you're probably looking at around about 600 mils. In that goes. Now, if you can't drink alcohol, you can switch it up for a non-alcoholic red wine. Best not to just replace it with more stock, because then that'll just make it really, really salty. So give that a little stir. And if you're worried about it being really alcoholic in taste, it won't, because as it cooks, it basically evaporates all of the alcohol. Okay, next we're gonna add our stock. So we've got a beef stock here. And we're going to pour the whole bag in there. Give that a mix. And then next we're going to add a can of peeled tomatoes. And then we're going to add a tablespoon of tomato paste. Now we are very fortunate here that we've got lovely homegrown tomato paste here, courtesy of Maria's mum. Chuck that in. Again, stir it in. Let it all mix nicely. Now this part is optional, you don't have to add this. I'm going to add a little dash of Worcestershire sauce. A couple of dashes of that in there. Then we're gonna add 2 bay leaves. And then last but not least, we've got our rosemary and thyme. So 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, now we're gonna stop searing and sauteing. We're gonna add the lamb back into the pot and we're gonna begin the slow cooking process. Lamb goes back in to the mixture. You wanna try and submerge it best you can when you put them in there. Obviously they are quite big hunks of meat. That's beautiful, that looks lovely. We're gonna close our lid, come to the front. We're gonna move it over to slow cook. We want it on low and we're gonna go for an 8-hour slow cook. Once you've done that, we're gonna hit start and then we'll come back later with the results. Okay, so it's been 8 hours. Let's check it out. Take one out, have a look. That looks lovely. So there it is. It looks absolutely lovely and it smells divine. And I think it's only right that we do a little taste test. I mean, you can see it just falls off the bone when you slow cook meats like this. That is worth the 8-hour wait. Okay, now we're gonna serve it up. Now we've already made some mashed potatoes. If mashed potatoes isn't really your thing, you could always serve this up with some polenta or some vegetables. So we're gonna remove the lamb shanks from the pot and then we're gonna also remove the juice from the pot, put it through a sieve, and then we'll use all that juice as our sauce for the dish. Lamb's going out to rest. So now we've sieved and separated the veg from our sauce. Because it's still not quite got that thick consistency that I want, I'm gonna pour some back into the pot, just a tiny bit, that'll do. And while the meat is resting, we're gonna thicken it using some corn flour. I'm gonna put 1 tablespoon in there, and then I'm gonna place it back on the sear saute function and just give it a stir until it thickens up to how I want it. Right, okay. I'd say that's reduced enough now. Pour this in our jug. Once you've got your sauce, you're ready to dish it up.
So there you have it. That was us cooking some delicious melt in the mouth lamb shanks in the Ninja 15-in-1. Let us know in the comments down below what you think of this recipe.
And if you want to see more recipes using the Ninja FOODi 15-in-1, check out this pork roast that we did here.
Thanks for tagging along and we'll see you in the next one.